What if the empire Kandi Burruss built came at a cost no one saw coming? Riley Burruss is pulling back the curtain, accusing her own mother of prioritizing fame and fortune over family. From childhood struggles to emotional neglect, Riley's truth threatens to shatter the picture-perfect legacy. For years, Riley Burruss was the quiet shadow in Kandi's spotlight, the supportive daughter standing silently in the background while her mother built a reality TV dynasty. But now, that silence has turned into a voice, and what she's saying is shaking the foundation. Riley claims she wasn't raised as a child, but as a brand, something to manage and promote. "I was marketed before I even knew who I was," she said. Every family moment, every milestone, captured by cameras not for memory, but for ratings. She admits she struggled to understand what was genuine affection and what was good television. "People in my life weren't just family or friends," she revealed. They were potential plot twists. That confusion, she says, followed her through her most formative years, leaving her questioning whether love in the Burruss household came with strings attached. But that's just the surface. What she said next pulled back the curtain on the Burruss empire. Kandi Burruss is no stranger to success. From co-writing chart toppers like No Scrubs, to becoming a breakout star on The Real Housewives of Atlanta and building a multi-million-dollar empire. She's long been praised as the ultimate mompreneur, a woman who could do it all. But Riley says that image was carefully curated and dangerously misleading. According to her, Kandi's ambition didn't just elevate the family name. It came at the cost of an authentic mother-daughter bond. "Everything was for the camera," Riley shared. "Even our most private moments had a production schedule." She describes feeling more like a prop in Kandi's story than a child in her care. Birthdays became content. Conversations were interrupted for confessionals, and instead of bedtime stories, there were call times. The deeper Riley goes, the clearer it becomes. The spotlight may have been bright, but the shadows behind it were darker than anyone imagined. And just when Riley thought things couldn't get more complicated, a man entered the picture who changed everything. When Todd Tucker met Kandi Burruss, he wasn't a star. He was behind the camera. A production staffer on Real Housewives, he stepped into her world quietly, but some say he had a plan from the start. Whispers followed him from the beginning. Industry insiders alleged he left a longtime partner behind to level up with Kandi. To some, it looked like love. To others, it looked like strategy. Mama Joyce, never one to bite her tongue, famously accused Todd of being a clout chaser, someone who saw dollar signs, not devotion. "He ain't got nothing," she said, in now iconic scenes. But she wasn't the only one sounding the alarm. According to Riley, she too saw the red flags early. "It felt like he came in with an agenda," she confided. What started as subtle tension grew into emotional distance. Her mother was no longer just Kandi. She was a package deal with Todd. And that package had rules, limits, and locked doors. But here's the twist. Todd didn't have to tear the family apart with his hands, because the real damage came from the war he ignited without even realizing it. When it came to protecting her daughter, Mama Joyce didn't play games. And when Todd Tucker entered the picture, the gloves came off. Sources close to the family say Mama Joyce didn't just disapprove, she went to war. Behind the scenes, she allegedly threatened to pull her financial backing from several of Kandi's booming ventures, warning, "If you choose him, you lose me." Her biggest fear? That Todd was unstable, manipulative, and dangerously strategic. She claimed he was positioning himself as a power player, not a partner. And when Kandi stood firm about moving forward with the wedding, Mama Joyce dropped the bombshell. She'd walk away completely. The tension seeped into every part of Kandi's life. Riley, caught in the crossfire, reportedly watched her mother wrestle between love and loyalty, between building a future with Todd or holding on to the family that built her brand. At home, the air grew colder. Every dinner became a battleground. Every decision felt like betrayal. Kandi may have built an empire, but now she was watching it split at the foundation. And even though the wedding did happen, things were never the same. From the beginning, Riley Burruss didn't see Todd Tucker as a stepdad. She saw him as a stranger in her mother's house. She's called their relationship very strained, marked by long silences and a sense that he was always playing a role, never showing who he really was. Behind the cameras and forced smiles, Riley said the truth was colder. Awkward family trips, dinners filled with silence, and a man who always seemed more focused on controlling the narrative than connecting with her. Riley never believed Todd was there out of love. Not for her, and maybe not even for Kandi. In her words, it felt like he was only around for the money. One of the clearest cracks in their already fragile bond came on her 16th birthday. Kandi, proud and emotional, surprised Riley with a Porsche, a moment meant to celebrate years of hard work, sacrifice, and survival. But instead of joy, it sparked tension. Todd allegedly scoffed and said she should have gotten a Honda Civic. Not in jest, not in concern, but as a shot across the bow, a reminder, Riley says, that love in their house always came with conditions and calculations. But that Porsche wasn't the real problem. It just revealed something far more dangerous underneath. To the world, Kandi and Todd were a power couple, red carpet smiles, matching business ventures, and a shared empire. But behind closed doors, Riley wasn't the only one feeling the weight of a fractured family. Todd, too, was reportedly drowning in a dynamic that left him feeling like a guest in his own marriage. Kandi never hid the truth. "It's my money," she would allegedly say during arguments. And according to insiders, she said it often. What started as playful banter between two hustlers turned bitter. Fights reportedly escalated fast, with Kandi throwing her financial dominance into every disagreement. For Todd, who had walked away from a promising production career to support her vision, it cut deep. He started voicing resentment, quietly at first, that he had given up his dreams to be good enough for Kandi's world, that he traded his identity for proximity to hers. And while social media painted him as the supportive husband, those close to the couple say he became increasingly withdrawn and privately insecure. Because being Kandi Burruss's husband came with perks, but it also came with a price. And as the tension grew louder behind the scenes, whispers of divorce began to make their way into the spotlight. In interviews and Instagram posts, Kandi and Todd stood united, laughing off divorce rumors, posting family selfies, and clapping back at skeptics. But behind the filtered smiles, the cracks were impossible to ignore. Riley, now older and unfiltered, confirmed what fans had only speculated. They were always fighting, she reportedly told close friends, not over cheating or scandal, but over silence, resentment, and everything left unsaid. Therapy sessions, once seen as a proactive move, revealed just how far they drifted. Emotional detachment had replaced intimacy. The spark that brought them together, gone, buried under brand deals, blended family tensions, and years of unresolved bitterness. Todd allegedly confessed in one session, "We stopped being in love. We just started running a business." Even Kandi, the ever-controlled powerhouse, admitted in a rare moment of vulnerability that she chose work over family repeatedly. Not by accident, but as a strategy. Her empire grew, but her marriage paid the cost. And yet, in all of this, Riley's final words weren't laced with anger. They weren't meant to destroy. They were meant to finally speak the truth, out loud. Now a young adult, Riley Burruss has stepped out of the shadows, and she's not mincing words. In a quiet but powerful statement, she revealed what many suspected, but few dared to say. Her childhood wasn't real. It was reality TV. There were no snow days, no lazy Sunday breakfasts, no spontaneous moments of joy. There were call times, reshoots, family dinners filmed for drama, not connection, birthdays curated for brand deals, every milestone edited to fit a narrative. "I was raised on set," she reportedly said, "not in a home." Riley accused her mother directly of choosing branding over bonding, of prioritizing the next spin-off over a private moment. And though there's no bitterness in her voice, there's something even heavier. Clarity. She's not out for revenge. She's not looking to cancel Kandi. She's simply done pretending. "I've made peace with it," Riley admitted, "but I won't repeat it. My kids won't grow up for an audience." It's a final revelation that reframes everything, from the music awards to the mansion tours. Because behind Kandi's billion-dollar empire is a daughter who learned the hard way. When your family becomes content, love gets edited out. On screen, Kandi Burruss shines as the ultimate powerhouse, mom, mogul, and reality TV icon. But off-screen, Riley reveals a different truth. She's the one who paid the emotional bill for that spotlight. The glitz and glam came with a price, a fractured family, silent sacrifices, and childhood moments lost to the camera's lens. So the question lingers, is the fame, the fortune, and the empire worth the cost it demanded? With Riley's voice breaking through the polished image. The narrative is shifting, and fans are finally listening. Because sometimes, the real story isn't the one broadcast on TV. It's the one spoken quietly, behind closed doors.